Hey everyone, it is Dave. It's time to talk about module number 5. We're going to be stepping outside of Italy this week and looking at art that exists in Northern Europe, how it developed at the same time that the Italian Renaissance is going on, because it looks completely different. So we're going to be dealing with that for this week, but we also have a very fun lecture. It is an area of art that I'm most interested in. It's where I do my scholarship and all of that. It is on art theft, looting, and repatriation. So I really hope you like that lecture. It is a professional one I gave a couple of years ago, so it is more lengthy. There's a Q&A at the end, and it's really a lot of fun. We also have a discussion on art theft, so you want to make sure to follow along with that because I'm going to ask you to use an academic database, and I will show you in this presentation how to do that. So let's head over to the Canvas site. I'll walk you through Module 5. All right, here we are on the Canvas site, and with Module 5, this also puts us a third of the way through the semester, so it is beginning to go through really quickly. Keep in mind we do have 1 week of spring break coming up in just a couple of weeks. Module 5 has 2 lectures in it. The first one, and of course all our regular information is up above. Don't forget I do have office hours every Wednesday from 3 to 7. Our first lecture is on the Renaissance in Northern Europe. So this is our last of the time period of the Renaissance lectures. We did 3 in Italy, and now we're looking at how art developed outside of that country. We've got our lecture, our study guide, and then in the further exploration section, there are some important elements. Of course, we always have the readings to do, but we have a video on the Arnolfini portrait. This is probably the most famous portrait in this century, in this area of the world during this time period. It's one of the first paintings ever created with oil paint, which is one of the inventions of Northern Europe. We also have a couple videos on prints, and printmaking is also something we see originating from Northern Europe. We have 2 types of processes we're going to be covering. The first one is relief, where we print from the positive space, and then on intaglio, and that is printing from the negative space. So then we get into the next lecture, which is on art theft, looting, and repatriation. This is one of my areas of interest in this field, and this is also a little bit different lecture. So it's not hosted by me. This is where I was a guest speaker for an event, and it's really quite good. And I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you enjoy the topic because I think it's really fascinating. We have our study guide here, and then finally the further exploration section. Don't worry about the reading because that is going to be journal number 5. But down below we have a few videos of just some movie trailers that focus in on art theft. I'm going to jump down to journal number 5 first. So the journal number 5 focuses on an article about art in Nazi Germany and how they viewed modern art as degenerate. So it's a really important article to read through and to understand because it plays a big part in our art theft lecture. And then the last thing we need to do is our discussion board. And for the discussion board, we need to do a post this week. And by the end of Module 6, we need to do a reply to another student. With this, what you're going to be doing is finding an article through the library's database. So you can go directly to the Chaffey Library through this link here. This one takes us right to the articles and database list. And what you're going to do is to choose a database that you want to use. If you're familiar with one already, you're more than welcome to use that. Otherwise, I always suggest a newspaper database because I think those articles are easier. Now, there's no date requirement for the article, so it can be a current article or one from several years ago. Either is fine. I'm going to stay away from book reviews, so the article that you want is going to be at least 500 words, but keep it under 2,500. That's just too long of an article. Summarizing the article, you want to summarize it in about 200 words or more. Then you're going to add a citation. The citations are real easy to find, and you're also going to provide a link to the article. So we have everything here, and I'll show you this in just a moment. For grading, 5 points for a relevant article, which means an article on art theft. 15 points to summarize the article. 5 points for the citation. 5 points for a response to another group member. Again, post is due the 9th, response is due on the 16th. So on the library's website, we're just going to click there. We have our one search below, and I always go right beneath that to the articles and database list. If there is a database that you like to use, please go ahead and use that. For me, I'm going to choose newspapers, U.S. major dailies, because I like using newspaper articles. They're short enough, there's plenty of them, and they're really kind of cool to go ahead and use. Now, if you're off campus, you may be prompted for a sign-in. It is your regular username and sign-in. So we're going to search maybe for artworks from World War II, and you'll see a number of articles are going to come up. Now, some of them are going to be a book review. You do not want a book review. So we're going to cruise around and see if we can find a really great article. Heirs awarded Nazi looted art are still waiting 17 years later. So this article is fairly recent. Looks like it came out in 2024. I can tell you it's already a decent sized article. 1,800 words, so it fits perfectly. And that's probably the one I'm going to use if I find it interesting. I'm going to summarize it, and then I need a citation. So if you click the citation button here, it'll have the citation for you already. And again, you can already see the link is below. That's the one I would use. It is APA, and if you're ever using this for another class where it's like the teacher wants Chicago style or MLA, you can always change to that as well. But I'm totally okay with an APA citation. You'll copy and then paste into your discussion post. And that is all you have to do. If you have questions, please reach out. And I think that is everything for this week. If you have any questions, via email Monday through Friday, Wednesday for office hours. I will see you shortly with module number 6.